Good morning. It's November 10th. We are just getting some kale set in. This is the same tunnel that we did a flip in back in September. I think it was the 17th of September. You might be asking why it took 2 months to get our starts in. And the answer to that is this is actually the third attempt to get this tunnel started. At this point, we've pretty much given up hope of a winter crop. We're looking more towards an early spring at best. So what happened? What happened was a rabbit, and he's still around, but we have some different tactics that we're trying to deal with this problem. In September, we had a round of starts that we had gotten going in the greenhouse, and they were coming about ready right at the end of September. So we got them transplanted in. We set the whole tunnel, 2 types of kale, cauliflower, and broccoli, 1 row each. They were looking good and strong. And then Mr. Bunny showed up. Peter Rabbit, I guess, I don't know. But first night, he took out about a quarter of the starts, and I wasn't sure if it was maybe some kind of caterpillar or whatnot. There was no evidence that it was a rabbit yet. Mosquitoes are still present. So I wasn't quite sure what it was. So we sprayed everything with BT just in case it was caterpillars, hopefully to put an end to that problem. And by the third night, he had wiped out the entire tunnel. We had done some different things like closing up the doors and trying to minimize access points and whatnot, but this is a high tunnel. It's not airtight. So he found various ways in. We went out on the internet and looked for various solutions. We tried an ammonia cayenne pepper type spray that's, you're supposed to put it on every 2 to 3 days, and it's supposed to keep them at bay. That didn't work at all. Like it slowed them down for one night. And we did keep putting a few test starts in here to see like if what we were doing was having an effect. More or less just kind of trickle feeding the rabbit, trying to figure out a way to deal with them. And at one point, before we started with the sprays, he left for like 2.5 weeks, and I thought everything was good. So we put another round of starts in, and he came right back. And that's when we started the sprays and some other methods. The various sprays that we made or bought didn't work at all, didn't slow him down. There is evidence all over the high tunnel that it is a rabbit. You can imagine what that looks like. But at this point, somebody made a great suggestion, and not sure why we didn't think of it sooner, but we're just going to put up Protect Net over the beds until those beds have enough height and strength that they can get away from the rabbit, or at least get above what he can reach. So at a minimum for the next 2 months, we should have Protect Net on these beds. And as soon as I'm done transplanting this morning, that's going up. We're not wasting any time. No more, home remedies or anything like that. We're just going straight for protective layers. We'll sandbag down the edges and use wire supports from Dubois in order to hold that Protect Net up, and we'll go from there. But that is why it is November 10th, and we are just getting our winter crop in. Usually takes around 90 days for the first of the dark boar kale to become available. It takes about the same amount of time this time of year for broccoli and cauliflower to come ready. So we're looking more like February, maybe March before we have things to harvest out of here. When in effect, this tunnel was supposed to be ready by Christmas-ish time. We do have a lot of other stuff going on the farm, so I'll get back to you on that later. If you have any comments or any other special ways to deal with rabbits, leave them in the comments section for me. I do not believe that this will be the last one I deal with. It's the first one I've had to deal with in the 13 years that I've been growing in this particular plot, but I don't think it'll be the last. So leave me a comment and let me know how you deal with yours. Other than a shotgun, I haven't been able to get eyes on him yet.